The following episode of the Kingdom of Isolation contains footage from the film being discussed. The footage is used solely for the purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support the animators by watching this film on Disney Plus or home media where available. This episode also contains spoilers throughout. Hello my fellow Disney fans and welcome to the Kingdom of Isolation, where in times of trouble, why not celebrate the magic of Disney? My name is Kenzie and today we are going to be looking at The Jungle Book 2, released theatrically in 2003, just a few weeks after 101 Dalmatians 2 Patch's London Adventure. Now, the lush, untamed landscapes of the Indian jungle have long captured the imagination of audiences ever since the release of Disney's beloved 1967 classic, the original Jungle Book. This film, with its unforgettable melodies, colourful characters, and timeless charm, established a world where the boundaries between human civilization and the wild remain ever blurred. Mowgli's journey of self-discovery, guided by the wisdom of Bagheera and the easygoing warmth of Baloo, resonated not only as an adventure, but as a tale of belonging and friendship. Now, as we step into the Jungle Book 2, we find ourselves returning to this jungle that is as enchanting as it is perilous. The echoes of the first film's legacy are impossible to ignore. They infuse every sun-dappled glade and shadowy corner, reminding us of the bonds forged and the songs sung. This sequel pays heartfelt tribute to the original, inviting both new and returning audiences to experience the wonder and danger and camaraderie that defined Mowgli's world. In The Jungle Book 2, the adventure continues, but the spirit of the original remains ever present, a testament to the enduring magic of this animated kingdom, where the call of the wild and the comforts of home exist side by side. As we journey once more into the depths of the jungle, we do so with the gratitude for the film that started it all and excitement for the new adventures that await. There was a plan for a third Jungle Book film that involved Baloo and Shere Khan being captured and sold off to a circus in Soviet Mother Russia. So Mowgli, Shanti, Ranjan, and Bagheera would have to save them, and Shere Khan would have changed his ways because of his capture. Corey Burton would have replaced Tony Jay as the voice of Shere Khan, but after John Lasseter became CEO of Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pixar Animation Studios, and due to the film's lackluster box office returns, I find that hard to believe, the idea, along with ideas for several other Disney sequels, was scrapped. And this was originally planned as a direct-to-video release. Before the movie was released, a sequel TV series from Disney Television Animation was being made by John Fountain, and it was to be called Mowgli and Baloo's Jungle Jams, and it was to have the characters being shown in the style of the Bill Watterson comic strip Calvin and Hobbes. But the idea was never pitched for unknown reasons. The name Ranjan means delight, Shanti means peace or silence, Mowgli means little frog, Baloo means bear, Hathi means elephant, and Bagheera means panther, Kaa means python, Shere Khan means big cat king. Clint Howard was the only voice actor from the original film who was still active at the time this film was released, although he wasn't approached for the project. He still remained active as of 2024. He also once stated at a con that if he was made aware of this project, he probably would have lobbied the makers to have a voice role in it, though obviously not reprising his character role, but maybe a different character potentially. Now, and that would have made him the only actor to voice in both films. With the exceptions of King Louie the orangutan, Winifred the elephant, Colonel Hathi's mate, or is it pronounced Hattie? I don't know. I think they say Hattie in the film. And the wolf pack, all the characters in the Jungle Book return in this sequel. The character of King Louis was cut because Disney would have had to pay the estate of voice actor Louis Prima had the character appeared in the film in any form, because of Gia Mayoni refusing to not have any actor doing an impression of her husband's voice. The problem was later resolved 10 years later when Mayoni died and King Louis appeared in the Jungle Book remake in 2016, albeit a different incarnation of the character. So we start off with Mowgli telling a story around a fire through shadow puppetry to summarize what happened in the first film.
Or I'll toss some fire to your tail and burn your butt!
And that kid is adorable. I love his energy. That's Ranjan, voiced by Connor Funk. He ends up taking the curtain down, meaning Mowgli's unable to finish the shadow puppet story, but everybody knows how it finishes anyway. Shanti and Mowgli start teasing each other over how the first film ended, only for Ranjan's dad to interject. Shanti's voiced by Mae Whitman, who's got credits including Family Guy, Owl House, and Robot Chicken, because everybody's been on Family Guy and Robot Chicken at some point. And Ranjan's dad is voiced by John Rhys Davies, who was last seen portraying another dad in Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Top right of your screen, if you want to hear my thoughts on the conclusion to the Aladdin trilogy. Mowgli is voiced by Sora himself, Haley Joel Osment, who was just seen last time here in the Kingdom of Isolation in Hunchback 2, the worst direct-to-video sequel I have reviewed so far. This was the last voice acting appearance of Haley to have his high-pitched voice that hadn't deepened yet. He had gone through puberty later that same year.
Watch out for Shere Khan on your way home.
You and your stories. Everyone knows tigers don't come into the village.
And let's see how long that lasts. Off to bed as we get ready for the next day. Unsurprisingly, the boys decide to get up to their usual antics, or at least try to.
Boys?
Shanti returns with water, singing her song from the first film. The boys tell Dad that they're going to do their chores, being given some advice.
Don't cross the river!
Watch them cross the river. Or try to, anyway. Mowgli tries to claim he saw tiger tracks to Shanti, who doesn't believe him.
Come on, Ranjan. He's a bad influence.
Ouch! Shanti takes Ranjan back to the village. Mowgli shows Ranjan a trick he learned, only for Shanti to one-up him. Now that's just showing off. On to the first new song for the film, Jungle Rhythm. While Ranjan is shown this jungle rhythm, let's get through the supervising animators for this film, shall we? We've got Simon Ashton for Baloo, Bagheera, and Ranjan's father. We've got Kelly Bagent for Mowgli and the Vultures, and Kevin Peaty for Shanti, Ranjan, Shere Khan, and Kaa. The late Steve Harwell of Smash Mouth fame wrote the credits music, which was Smash Mouth's rendition of I Want to Be Like You, while Joe McNeely returns to compose the score, while the original songs from the Sherman Brothers and Terry Gilkinson return throughout the film. Aside from That's What Friends Are For. Joel also helped Lorraine Feather and Paul Grabowski write the new songs, and we're already off to a winning start, definitely capturing the spirit of the original. The rest of the village join in, and eventually, so does Shanti. This definitely wouldn't stand out of place at a jazz night. Shanti manages to stop Mowgli from going into the jungle, and that's what happens when you get carried away. Father confines Mowgli to his room without dinner after showing him his scars, thanks to Shere Khan. Into the jungle we go, and here we see Baloo and Bagheera, all while the iconic Bare Necessities plays. Baloo's voiced this time around by John Goodman, last seen heading to Monsters University, while Bagheera is voiced by Bob Joles. Now, Bob has a notable Disney credit to his name with the animated short Once Upon a Studio that was part of Disney's centenary celebrations. One of the rare highlights for what felt like a very lackluster year for Disney. And you'd have thought they'd have gone all out for the centenary celebrations, but it just felt really lackluster, if I'm being really honest. I mean, even their centenary film itself, Wish, felt really mid at best. Now, what role did Bob have in this short, regardless? He voiced Cogsworth, which was a role that was made iconic by the late David Ogden Stiers. John Goodman recorded his voice work in New Orleans, while Haley Joel Osment recorded his in California. Now, due to the death of Ed Gilbert in 1999, Baloo had to be voiced by a different actor who would sound very different from he and his original voice, Phil Harris, had sounded. Now, for those of you who are new here, you're probably wondering, Ed who? He voiced Baloo in Tailspin. But God bless Baloo, he still misses Mowgli a lot, and Bagheera can see that.
Mowgli.
And that's the intimidating voice of the late Tony Jay, last seen as Frollo, giving us the greatest villain song of all time. One thing I admire is the score Joel put together for this film. Again, capturing the spirit of the original film. Baloo heads through the jungle to try and reunite with Mowgli. Bob portraying Bagheera is a great casting choice, especially when he sounds pretty close to Sebastian Cabot, who voiced him in the original back in 1967. In the 1990s, screenwriting duo Bob Hilgenberg and Rob Muir submitted a Jungle Book 2 screenplay in which Baloo ventured to save his romantic interest from a poacher. Disney ultimately went in a different direction for the sequel. And again, to reiterate, it was originally intended to release straight to video in February of 2002. Stop congesting your schedules, because then this happens every time. In February 2002, Disney announced that the film, as well as Piglet's Big Movie, which will be our next episode, would be released theatrically. The film was given a theatrical release in all territories, except in Japan for some inexplicable reason. Bagheera falls into the river, allowing Baloo to get away.
Up, 2, 3, 4, keep it up. 2, 3, 4.
Now remember, men, our objective is full and complete containment.
Hang on a second, I recognize that voice a mile away. It's not Pete, but it is someone who voices him.
Guess who? Guess who? It's him again.
It's Disney legend Jim Cummings! But it isn't the only character he voices in this film.
You what?
Yeah, I know, right? But that just shows the diverse range that Jim Cummings has. Parade stops Baloo at the bridge, only for Baloo to swim away from them all, including Bagheera and the Colonel, who both fall into the river, again in Bagheera's case, giving us a cameo from a fish resembling Flounder from The Little Mermaid. Baloo escapes and makes it to the village, with Khan hot on his heels.
Say, fellas, look who's coming.
Ah, there's the vultures. We got Jess Harnell voicing Dizzy and Ziggy, but interestingly, Dizzy is also voiced by Baron Davis in here for some reason. Yeah, 2 voices for 1 vulture. Huh, make of that what you will. Jeff Bennett is Flaps, and he was just in the Jeff was just in the last episode as Jasper in 101 Dalmatians 2. And then we have Lucky, and he's voiced by Phil Collins. Yeah, believe it or not, Phil did acting for a while. Phil's acting credits include Buster, A Hard Day's Night, Balto, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and Hook, as well as an upcoming project entitled The Phil Collins Story. In terms of Disney, he's written the music for Tarzan and Brother Bear, both of which I've covered previously on this channel. He even appeared in Vice City Stories as himself, performing In the Air Tonight, as well as appearing in an episode of Miami Vice. He's got 10 UK top 10 singles, 3 of them being number 1s, and those number 1s being You Can't Hurry Love, Easy Lover, and A Groovy Kind of Love. Prolific Cockney actors Andy Day, Miles Jupp, and Phil Gallagher were all considered for the part of Lucky before the role went to Phil Collins. You've got Buzzy as well, who was voiced by Brian Cummings. He isn't related to Jim Cummings, unfortunately. Day would later go on doing Andy's Adventure series. Jupp would later go on would later do the pink sweater or brainy inventor Archie from Balamori, which is actually getting a reboot as well, appearing on Would I Lie to You. And Gallagher would later do the arty and crafty arseman Mr. Maker. The vultures are getting under Khan's skin, but he just soldiers on, wounded pride and all. Into the village, and this catches Mowgli's attention, and he heads out to find him.
Hi, kid. Mind if I drop in?
Okay, never mind. It's only Baloo, happy as Larry to see Mowgli again. Elsewhere, Shanti has something for Mowgli, while Shere Khan is actually in the village. The music here is really unsettling here, with Khan hunting Mowgli down. The residents hunt Khan out of the village, while Baloo escapes with Mowgli. Shanti chases Mowgli and Baloo down, heading into the jungle. Khan heads back into the jungle to hunt Mowgli down, ready for revenge. While Mowgli is telling Baloo about what life was like in the village, Kaa watches on, also voiced by Jim Cummings, who also voices the MC Monkey later. Now, Mowgli and Baloo, of course, sing the bare necessities while Kaa tries to catch Mowgli, giving us a hidden Mickey in the process.
I so despise these song and dance routines.
We love him, Kaa. Deal with it. Back with Shanti, she tries to look for Mowgli, getting lost in the jungle only to run into Kaa, being hypnotized in the process, with a callback to Trust in Me in the process, only to be saved by Ranjan, who stays in the jungle with Shanti to find Mowgli, while Kaa runs into Shere Khan. Yeah, we all know how well that turned out in the first film.
Oh, please don't insult my intelligence. It makes me irritable.
Next day, the village search for Mowgli while Bagheera is hiding with the elephants, and Mowgli shares mangoes with Baloo, showing him the trick Shanti showed him earlier in the film. Speaking of which, she's trying to work out the path she's taken so far, which isn't easy when you've got a tricky environment like that jungle. Shere Khan's at the swamp, only to run into the vultures, with Lucky testing his, well, luck, giving away Mowgli's position.
Isn't it ironic that your name is Lucky?
And I'm not even going to show what happened, because that reaction from the rest of the vultures, that pretty much says it all. And that being said, this is one of Phil Collins' 4 favorite films he's ever done. The other 3 being Balto, Tarzan, and Brother Bear. Mowgli and Baloo make it to the hideout where King Louie used to reside, leaving Mowgli questioning how everyone knows about the hiding place if it's supposed to be a secret.
I mean, everybody who's anybody. Nobody who's nobody don't know nothing about no place that everybody who's anybody knows about. You dig?
Okay. 1, no I don't. And 2, English, please. The next song is WILD, where we also get cameos from characters that resemble Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King. Now, the songs as a whole are okay. I just feel too much reliance on the original film's songs detracts from the new songs and score. One plus I will give this song in particular is that there is plenty of energy. Mowgli runs off and overlooks the village, while Shanti is confident she and Ranjan will find him soon, which they do, thanks to Mowgli singing. Baloo tries to scare Shanti, only to be hit in the face. Shanti walks off with Ranjan after Baloo accidentally blurts out that Mowgli had planned for him to scare Shanti. He goes to try and find her, only to end up running into Shere Khan. Now, Mowgli helps Shanti and Ranjan to try and escape, but outrunning Shere Khan, all while the music adds to the chase, might not work. Time for a game of the floor is lava now.
No matter where you hide, I will catch you.
And even at the age he was, he still knows how to be intimidating.
Not another man cub.
Can't you go any faster?
Well, at least Bagheera gave us a meme. They make it to the final showdown, where we see a very rare sign of mutual respect exchanged between Bagheera and Baloo.
Baloo! Be careful.
The dark lighting added with the lightning and intense music really add to this game of cat and mouse. Baloo and Shanti distract Shere Khan with the gongs, only for one of them to expose Shanti. Shere Khan hunts the kids down, leaping over the gap where there's nothing but lava down below. The structure gives way, and Khan falls into the lava while Baloo saves Mowgli and Shanti.
Hello, Stripes.
Lucky somehow survived the attack earlier and decides to torment Khan some more. The trio of kids are safe as the village finds them, leading to a tough decision for Mowgli to make. Shanti and Rajan head back to the village, and Mowgli hugs Baloo before heading back to the village with them.
I'm gonna miss you, Papa Bear.
And moments like this just hurt every time when a moment like this happens. The kids are reunited with the village, leading to Ranjan's father apologizing to Mowgli.
I should have understood that the jungle is a part of who you are.
So naturally, the kids couldn't stay away from the jungle for long, so they finish off with one last reprise of the bare necessities to end the film. And there is another song that we hear over the end credits as well, on top of Smash Mouth's rendition of I Want to Be Like You. Wendy Wagner gives us Right Where I Belong over the end credits, which I think's a really nice touch. So that was a fun trip back to the jungle, but will the scores reflect that? Now, the story I gave a 7. The plot is enjoyable, blending adventure with heartfelt moments, even if it treads a familiar path. The emotional beats, particularly with Mowgli's farewell to Baloo and his return to the village, are effective and memorable. While not the most original storyline, the journey is engaging enough to keep you invested throughout. The characters, I gave a 7. The characters are well realized, with Baloo's warmth and Shere Khan's menace standing out in particular. However, some of the supporting cast feel a touch underdeveloped, and Mowgli's arc, while touching, doesn't offer much new depth compared to his earlier outings. Still, the interactions between the main trio and the return of familiar faces provide a comforting sense of continuity and charm. The visuals, I'm going to give a 7. The animation is vibrant and colourful, successfully capturing the lush atmosphere of the jungle and the distinctive look of each character. While it may not reach the technical heights of some more recent releases, the visual style has a classic charm that fits the tone of the story. The expressive character designs and lively backgrounds contribute to the film's inviting, adventurous feel. The soundtrack, I'm going to give a 5. The music is pleasant enough, with the familiar tunes like The Bare Necessities offering a nostalgic boost, but overall, the soundtrack lacks the memorable punch of the original classic. While the songs are serviceable and fit the film's tone, none truly stand out or linger in the mind after the credits roll. The score supports the story without ever becoming as iconic or infectious as one might hope. And the legacy, I'm going to give a 4. Now, the legacy. Despite its nostalgic value and moments of charm, the film's overall impact has been quite modest at best. With 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, it holds the unfortunate distinction of having the lowest review score of any Disney animated film, suggesting that it failed to resonate strongly with critics or stand the test of time in comparison to its predecessors. The next lowest score is Planes with 25%. The site consensus read, "This inferior rehash of the Jungle Book should have gone straight to video." That's a big ouch! Financially, however, the picture tells a different story. Produced on a budget of $20 million, the film managed to achieve a considerable box office return, grossing $135.7 million worldwide. Now, this commercial success indicates that while critical reception was lukewarm at best, there remained a significant audience interest, likely fueled by brand recognition and the enduring appeal of the original characters. As I mentioned earlier, the film relies a bit too much on the nostalgic beats of the first film, leaving it feeling less memorable than the original. Now, I'm in two minds about recommending this one, but if I had to choose, gun to my head, I'd regrettably have to say no. Not this time. However, if you do still want to check it out, by all means do so. And now, the score, we get the score of 60% overall. It is an unremarkable score. It's reflecting an experience that is enjoyable in parts, but ultimately falls short of excellence. The story, while engaging and emotionally resonant at times, leans heavily on familiar territory and lacks the freshness needed to truly captivate. Characters like Baloo and Shere Khan are well realized, yet much of the supporting cast remains undeveloped, and Mowgli's journey offers little new beyond what we've seen before. Visually, the animation is lively and full of color, evoking the wilderness and beauty of the jungle, but it doesn't quite match the technical brilliance of more contemporary releases. The soundtrack provides pleasant nostalgia, especially with the reprise of the bare necessities at the end, but it fails to leave a lasting impression. Most notably, the film's legacy is modest, as reflected in its notably low Rotten Tomatoes rating of 90%, the lowest among Disney animated features. While moments of charm and continuity persist, the reliance on nostalgia and lack of innovation means the sequel struggles to stand out, justifying a middling score. If you're seeking a comforting revisit of familiar characters, you may find enjoyment here, but those looking for something memorable or groundbreaking may wish to look elsewhere. It is enough to crack the top 10 ahead of Little Mermaid 2 and an extremely goofy movie. And that is it for this episode of the Kingdom of Isolation. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be part of the Kingdom of Isolation yourself, you can hit the subscribe button down at the bottom, click the bell, and turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live on this channel. I also have a passes page where I have uncut episodes of the Kingdom of Isolation up there as well. The next episode, it's time for another trip into the 100-Acre Wood, because why not?
Piglet's big movie.
And this film certainly had a big impact on me as a kid. But until then, make each moment count, and I'll see you guys next time in the Kingdom of Isolation.